They do this dance, and Mark Antony's like, go put your hands on your mother's hips.
The Beckham family drama continues to escalate after firstborn son Brooklyn Beckham blasted his famous parents, David and Victoria, in a long and emotional Instagram message.
Welcome back to Quiet Buzz, a channel focused on public images, online discussions, and stories that often stay behind polished headlines. Here, we look at widely discussed moments and public statements that continue to shape celebrity narratives in the media. If you're interested in documented public discussions, visible family tensions, and what's been circulating beyond glossy headlines, consider subscribing and exploring the other videos already on the channel. This story has drawn significant attention online, and recent developments involving the Beckham family have clearly shifted how many people are viewing the situation. Brooklyn Beckham has recently shared a public statement on social media that sparked widespread discussion about long-standing personal tensions within his family. The message, which appeared after years of staying quiet, quickly caught attention for its emotional tone and timing, especially given the family's carefully maintained public image. According to public discussion, his statement referenced unresolved issues connected to his wedding, an event that was expected to remain a private celebration. Brooklyn suggested that certain moments during the event felt uncomfortable to him and some attendees, leading to visible tension that surprised many present. Online commentary has focused on how that experience may have influenced his decision to step back from ongoing family involvement. What was meant to be a milestone moment instead became, in his words, a turning point that changed how he views his place within the broader family spotlight. In this video, we'll outline what Brooklyn shared publicly, what moments have been discussed online regarding the wedding, and why he says he chose to finally speak openly on January 19th. The focus remains on verified statements and publicly available information without speculation. In his post, Brooklyn explained that he had tried for years to keep personal matters private, but felt it was time to share his perspective. His message opened by stating, "I have been silent for years and made every effort to keep these matters private for my entire life." In his public message, Brooklyn shared his personal view that media narratives about his family have often been carefully managed, and he suggested that recent coverage did not reflect his own experiences. He explained that, from his perspective, certain stories placed in the media felt misleading, and in his words, were meant to protect a polished public image rather than show the full picture. Still, he added that he believes clarity eventually surfaces, even when things stay quiet for a long time. Brooklyn didn't stop with general statements. After speaking up, he began recalling specific moments from earlier years that he says reshaped how he understands his family dynamics. He pointed to his 2022 wedding to Nicola Peltz as a major turning point, explaining that the tension he felt had been building long before the ceremony itself. According to Brooklyn, he felt that his personal relationships had faced ongoing pressure over the years, and as the wedding approached, that pressure became impossible to ignore. By the time plans were finalized, he described the atmosphere as strained, with emotions running high behind the scenes. He also referenced a situation that unfolded shortly before the wedding in Palm Beach, Florida. Brooklyn said that plans involving Victoria Beckham creating Nicola's wedding dress changed very late in the process, requiring a quick adjustment just days before the event. Publicly, Nicola later addressed the change, telling Variety that she chose Valentino Couture instead because she realized that her atelier couldn't do it. In his Instagram post, Brooklyn made it clear that, from his perspective, the situation went far beyond a single wedding detail. He explained that he felt many parts of his life had been closely guided for years, including personal choices, career direction, and everyday decisions. According to his statement, he often felt that expectations were set for him rather than shaped by him. Brooklyn shared that when he eventually made major personal decisions on his own, the reaction around him felt noticeably different. He suggested that choosing a partner independently marked a shift, and he described the response as persistent pressure rather than open support, at least from his point of view. One detail that drew extra attention online involved a business-related decision from years earlier. Public records show that in 2016, the name Brooklyn Beckham was registered as an EU trademark by Victoria Beckham. Some online viewers have pointed to this as an example of how his public identity may have been structured long before he ever addressed these issues publicly. Brooklyn's statements went further, suggesting that family dynamics sometimes blended with brand-focused thinking. He shared the belief that public image and long-term planning were often prioritized, and when he began asserting independence, the tone of those interactions seemed to change quickly. According to his perspective, once he pushed for more personal control, the response felt calculated rather than emotional. He also suggested that there were concerns surrounding how his marriage fit into existing expectations, stating that boundaries became blurred and tensions grew as the wedding approached. In his statement, Brooklyn wrote that in the weeks leading up to the wedding, he felt significant pressure regarding business-related decisions tied to his name. He explained that he was asked multiple times to sign documents that would affect how his name could be used going forward, including implications for his household and long-term plans. According to Brooklyn, the timing of these requests felt intentional and added to the strain during an already emotional period. He shared that he was told the agreement needed to be finalized before the wedding date for certain terms to activate. Brooklyn stated that his hesitation appeared to create frustration, and he claimed that the dynamic between him and his parents shifted noticeably afterward, at least from his point of view. Brooklyn also described a moment at the wedding reception that stood out to him. He and Nicola made seating decisions they felt were thoughtful and respectful, placing close relatives at the main table while ensuring all parents were seated nearby in equally visible locations. Despite this, Brooklyn said the situation led to unexpected emotional reactions that caught him off guard. According to his account, tensions from that evening didn't immediately fade. He suggested that comments made by family members around the time of the ceremony felt dismissive and deeply hurtful, adding to the emotional weight of the experience. Brooklyn further explained that even on the wedding day itself, moments he hoped would remain calm and personal became overshadowed by visible strain. What he expected to be a private milestone instead became a widely discussed event, drawing attention for reasons he says he never anticipated. In his statement, Brooklyn Beckham also addressed the wedding dance moment that has been widely discussed across social platforms. He explained that what was planned as a first dance with his wife unexpectedly changed in front of a full room of guests. Brooklyn wrote that the moment he had anticipated as personal and meaningful took an unexpected turn that caught him completely off guard. According to Brooklyn, the schedule had clearly outlined a private dance with Nicola, but instead, he was called toward the stage where a different situation unfolded. He shared that the experience felt uncomfortable to him and emotionally overwhelming, especially given the public setting. In his own words, he described feeling extremely uncomfortable during that moment, a reaction that later sparked intense online discussion. That scene didn't just surprise attendees, it quickly became a major topic across digital platforms. Some online viewers began offering their own interpretations, though these opinions remained speculative and unverified. Brooklyn's statement focused solely on how the moment made him feel, rather than assigning motives or intent. He emphasized that the experience stayed with him long after the event ended. From his perspective, what should have been a carefully planned highlight became one of the most talked about moments of the entire celebration. As public attention grew, additional first-hand accounts began circulating online. The DJ hired for the event, who was positioned near the stage, later became part of the broader discussion simply due to proximity to the moment itself. According to people present at the wedding, the atmosphere during that moment felt noticeably tense. Those near the stage later shared that the mood shift was visible, with both Brooklyn and his wife appearing uneasy in a situation that was unfolding very publicly. Observers described the moment as awkward rather than celebratory, something that stood out in an otherwise carefully planned event. The DJ hired for the evening, DJ Fat Tony, was positioned close to the stage and had a clear view of what happened. From his perspective, the discomfort was easy to notice, reflected in body language and expressions that suggested the moment felt longer than intended. He later implied that what unfolded seemed symbolic, representing deeper, unresolved family dynamics rather than a single isolated incident. For many online viewers, Brooklyn's statement marked a clear shift in tone. It was the first time a direct family member publicly described his own experiences so openly, offering context to discussions that had circulated quietly for years. His words encouraged renewed attention to how public image and private realities can sometimes clash. While public discussion around the family has existed for a long time, Brooklyn's comments brought fresh focus to how media narratives are shaped and maintained. Supporters say his perspective added nuance, while others viewed it as the start of a larger conversation rather than a final word. That idea gained traction after Brooklyn recently shared that he is working on a book. According to public mentions, the project will outline events strictly from his point of view, focusing on personal experiences and media pressure. According to people who support Brooklyn's perspective, they believe these matters might have remained private if earlier attempts at communication had led to meaningful change. From their point of view, the situation escalated only after repeated efforts to resolve concerns quietly failed to bring results. DJ Fat Tony later shared that Brooklyn's public statement did not come as a surprise to him. He suggested that Brooklyn had tried on multiple occasions to address sensitive issues directly and privately, hoping for understanding, but felt those conversations never reached a resolution. From Tony's perspective, the public message became a last option rather than a first choice. Industry observers say that once those private discussions stalled, Brooklyn appeared to feel boxed in. In that context, speaking publicly was described as a way for him to finally share his own narrative and regain a sense of personal control over how his experiences were portrayed. At the same time, reports suggest that David and Victoria Beckham have chosen not to respond publicly right away. Instead, they are said to be taking a measured and carefully managed approach, relying on traditional media strategy rather than immediate online statements. Some observers point to later personal decisions as signs that tension had been lingering for some time. After the wedding, Brooklyn and Nicola quietly held a vow renewal ceremony without extended family present, a choice that sources describe as deeply personal and focused on creating a calm, supportive environment. Public reaction to the situation has been sharply divided. Some critics feel personal matters should have stayed private, while others strongly support Brooklyn's decision to speak openly. And that's where public discussion stands right now. For some viewers, Brooklyn isn't challenging a legacy at all. He's simply choosing not to protect an image that no longer reflects his experience. Others see it as a moment where long-standing narratives are finally being questioned in a more open way. For decades, the Beckham family image has been built around discipline, success, global recognition, and a tightly united public front. From the outside, it appeared polished and carefully maintained, with every detail aligned to support that perception. Brooklyn, however, has suggested that behind the scenes, image management sometimes came before personal boundaries, a claim that has sparked wide debate. In the Netflix documentary Beckham, both David and Victoria Beckham spoke openly about difficult periods in their relationship. While they addressed those moments in a controlled and reflective way, many viewers felt the discussion revealed emotional strain that contrasted with the flawless image presented over the years. Those scenes encouraged audiences to rethink what life inside such a high-profile household might truly involve. There have also been long-running public conversations about priorities, visibility, and the pressures of maintaining a global brand. Whether fully accurate or not, these stories have shaped how some critics interpret family dynamics when public life and private life overlap so closely. At its core, this situation isn't about one event or one social media post. It's about years of pressure, blurred boundaries, and the cost of maintaining a carefully structured public image. Brooklyn speaking out didn't invent these discussions, it amplified them. And with a book reportedly in progress, many believe this conversation is far from finished. If you want to stay updated on what happens next, break down celebrity stories in a calm, documentary-style way, and follow ongoing public discussions, make sure to like this video, subscribe, and share it with others who enjoy deep dives like this. Stay tuned, because it only gets better from here on my channel. See you in the next one.